Hello everyone, I'm Oscar, and in this episode I will discuss who I think are the top 5 key players to own on a Game Week 5 wildcard. Wildcarding can be tricky because your options are endless. That's why I like to first decide who are my must-haves that I can build a foundation on, and then see how many slots are more up for discussion to see which combos I can afford in those remaining slots. At the end of the video, I will also reveal my current wildcard draft. I have pushed the button and I think I've come up with a pretty good team. Number 5 on this list is Reece James. Since Tuchel was appointed as manager, Chelsea and Manchester City have been the best defenses in the league. Liverpool deserves to join that conversation too, since they are looking to be back at their best. These 3 teams are the only ones that have conceded exactly 1 goal this season, and Chelsea's defensive performance versus Liverpool with 10 men also stands out. All of this means that I think a Chelsea defender is a must on a wild card, and you can certainly go for Rudiger instead if you want to play it safe, or you can go for both. James is the first choice on right back, but it seems like he'll still have his minutes managed. He could get the occasional rest, so be prepared to have some patience with him, but the huge upside that I see that he represents is too good for me to ignore. He is currently scoring 11.25 FPL points per 90, and he clearly has a great mix of assist potential as one of the highest goal threats among defenders, with 2 shots in the box and 4 goal attempts in this time. These stats are taken from the public stats table Dusra's wingback wonders over on Scout, where you can compare him to other wingbacks. Moving on to number 4, we find the great player that is Rafinha. How good are his fixtures, you may ask? According to the fixture ticker on Scout, Leeds sit on the very top, and that's why I think at least one Leeds player on a wildcard makes a lot of sense. There was a consensus in the community prior to the season began that Rafinha was underpriced, and the only question was by how much. He only has 1 return this season though, but at the same time, as we see on the goals imminent table in the public stats area, it shows that both him and Bamford should be doing better quite soon, and with fixtures comes form. Rafinha has been especially unlucky to not register an assist yet as well, with an expected assist stat of 1.07 and his 7 chances created. Number 3 on this list is Jota. As long as Firmino is not completely fit, Jota is among the absolute best value players in the game. His 0.76 expected assists show that he could easily have had 1 by now. He has had 3 big chances so far, which is a sign of good delivery from his teammates. He's also quite selfish, which is a good FPL trait. If we look at these stats from the comparison table, these are Salah's numbers to the right, and they are a little bit better, but as you can see, it's very marginal, which means Jota is posting elite numbers in that regard. They both are getting a lot of chances and likes to shoot, and are also quite good at hitting the target, which the shot accuracy number indicates. Second on the list is another Liverpool player, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's the 3rd highest scoring player in the game behind Salah and Antonio, and he's the highest scoring defender. He's averaging 1 big chance created per game, 5 chances created per game, almost 2 corners per game, and we know that Liverpool has good headerers there, especially Van Dijk. Trent also averages 2 goal attempts per game, which is quite stunning for a defender. He seems to be back to his best, and he's playing fairly high up the pitch. He's still on direct free kicks as well, and eventually he's going to score 1 of those. The number 1 player to own on a wildcard for me is Salah, the highest scoring player in the game, and I think he could have had even more returns. He has had 2 FPL returns so far that I can think of that were ruled out for offside, and there's also a chance that Mane starts converting all of his chances, which would mean more assists for Salah. His main selling point is how good of a captain he is. He's one of the great flat track bullies, and looking at his fixture run up until Christmas, he's likely going to be my captain in roughly half of those fixtures, which means all I need to do is jump on the other premium that is gonna be good to rotate the armband with. Speaking of other premium, I'm going to add a bonus player or a slot on this list, and it's going to be Ronaldo / Lukaku, who I think are both very good options on a wild card. I will likely have Ronaldo and then downgrade to Lukaku in game week 7 or 8 when Chelsea's fixtures swing, but if Ronaldo looks like he can't be stopped, then there's a chance I'll keep him in my team and put Lukaku next to him. Ronaldo should be better short-term value than Lukaku. At the same time, owning Lukaku now might mean more to your overall team structure. It all depends on what you can do with the extra million. Let's look at my team to see what I mean. If I chose Lukaku instead of Ronaldo, I would save a probable transfer down the line. But also in terms of reallocating funds right now, I could upgrade Gallagher to Sarr and Livramento to Ben White. But since I'm not sure if that's a combo that is worth 1 million, I'm not sure if I'll be doing that. But let's talk briefly about the players that are in my team who I haven't mentioned yet. In goal, Sanchez is still the best value keeper and his fixtures are still good, even though they are getting a little bit tougher increasingly. Williams and Livramento are going to sit on my bench, so not much to say there. City's defense has been incredible at the start of the season stat-wise. You can go for either one out of Laporte, Diaz or Cancelo, but now that Cancelo seems to be very favored among the fullbacks, he's going to be the one for me. In midfield, I am currently on Torres and Gray, and I think this is the hardest spot to decide on. Gallagher or Gray will be an important question for many to decide which we prefer. For now, Gray is simply there in my team because he has better fixtures. And when it comes to Torres, he's obviously a high-risk, high-reward pick. But at the moment, he seems to be the preferred striker for Manchester City. And if we compare his underlying stats to Jota's, who is in the same price bracket, we can see that Jota is more clinical, but that they are very evenly matched in terms of the amount of chances that they get, which are always presented to them inside the box or just outside of it. There aren't any playing 4.5 million forwards at the moment, so it shouldn't matter which one you choose. But one thing to consider is to avoid choosing a player from a team where you will want to have 3 players from. And when it comes to the forward slot, I think you could go for either Bamford or Antonio actually. I think I prefer Bamford for now to make the switch to Antonio in a game week or 2. Those are my tips for wildcarders. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next week and good luck this game week.